One. Welcome, everyone, to episode 403 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. I'm your host, Dan.
And I'm well.
Today's topic, we are going to be, since Game of Thrones is finally going to be back on Sunday after a year and a half, we are going to be talking about Game of Thrones video games and mods for other video games. I will keep it spoiler free. I won't spoil anything. I know how that would be for me if I hadn't watched the show yet and had stuff spoiled for me. So I will keep it spoiler free. But yeah, there's some good ones out there, and then there's some stinkers out there too. So we'll be covering those. Will, do you have anything you want to tease for later on in the episode?
Yeah, I played a game called Mass Effect Andromeda that I'm really excited to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
We'll probably talk about the trilogy too, just because I want to.
Yeah.
I'm pretty into Mass Effect currently. Other than that, if I sniffle a lot, I'm sorry. I'm pretty sick right now, so I'm pretty tired and got no energy. So,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I made some big purchases too, which I'll talk
Nice.
about in our weeks, and that's probably it for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as games, I mostly only have Sekiro to talk about still. Still working my way through that slowly but surely. Outside of that, I don't really have too awful much to talk about. So let's get into the main topic. So yeah, Game of Thrones games and mods. First, I'll cover the games, the actual games that are Game of Thrones and are in the universe. So the first is going to be Telltale's a Game of Thrones. I did play through all of this one and thoroughly enjoyed it. If you played a Telltale game, you know what it's all about. It's very much in the Telltale universe. And despite Telltale shuttering, I know they had taken down some of the games, but this is one you can still buy. I checked this morning and it was $15 on Steam. Apparently, it's also on Android, still available there for sure. I also checked that. Also, supposedly available on Xbox One, PS4, and iOS. But it was also available on the Xbox 360 and PS3. So it starts during one of the more significant events in the show. I won't spoil what that is. But basically, if you haven't seen the show yet, don't jump right into this because it spoils a major event in the game. Don't start playing this game until after you've seen all of season 3. Once you start season 4, then you're okay to start this and not have anything spoiled for you. Very important distinction. So, um, the interesting thing about this game for me though was the way it intertwines with the events in the show, while also remaining its own separate story with its own separate characters. And it also manages to take your knowledge of the characters and the events that happen in the game and mess with you because you know what this character is all about, what that character is all about, or what's supposed to happen here or there. It takes that and it knows you know that knows you know that information and it twists it on you and it uses it to bite you, which is pretty cool, I think.
So you know how a character acts, so you do one thing because you know you'll get that reaction, but then you don't.
Or because you know how that type of game, especially like you try to do the right thing but it ends up not being the right thing.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
It does that very well in this game. So
Okay.
yeah, it definitely plays with that a little bit. So that's good. So that's definitely one worth playing. If you're a Game of Thrones fan, it's quite good. Good voice acting. Very tense story. Even though, like I said, for the most part, it doesn't involve the characters from the show. At least more in a background kind of way. They're there.
How many episodes did this get? I don't even
6.
remember. I get 6. Wow.
Hmm.
I thought it was only like 3, but
Yeah, no, it's a full 6 episodes. They're all 2 to 3 hours each, except for maybe the last one's a little bit shorter. And they're apparently working on season 2. So I don't know if someone's gonna eventually take the carry the torch for that, or if it's just gone for good. But
mhm.
it was in the works anyway. So that's Telltale's Game of Thrones. The next one on the list is another actual game. It's called Game of Thrones, the role playing game. So it was developed by Cyanide Studios and published by Focus Home Interactive. I had all intentions on playing a lot of this past week. But I excuse me, however, did not get a lot of game time this week. And last night I had a significant amount of game time to play whatever I wanted. and I ended up playing a lot of Sekiro. So I didn't play much of this. I did play about an hour. Um, so it's on PS3, Xbox 360, and Steam. Um, it's a role playing game. It's a action kind of RPG. Apparently, from what I read, the story in it is really good, but not much else is really good. And I can say that at least the perspective from the characters is like kind of over the shoulder and very weird, and the combat system is pretty terrible. The one fight I was in the game. So it switches back and forth between the perspective of two different characters: Mors Westford, who is a brother of the Night's Watch, and then a knight named Alistair Sarwick, who I didn't play as. I just played the beginning as Mors for a little bit. But yeah, it's got voice acting from the actual a lot of the actual characters from the show, which is nice. It's not great voice acting, but it's the same voice actors or the same actors, so there's that. But yeah, it seems kind of janky. Definitely, even as far as I think it came out in like 2012 or 2013, still feels janky even for a game from 2012 or 2013. So yeah,
This game came out in 2013.
I think so.
Okay.
Somewhere around there. That's one I will play at some point. Like I said, being the Game of Thrones fan that I am, I do want to play it. I just didn't get a chance to play it this coming week. So
Yeah.
next on the list, and the final actual game I'm going to cover for Game of Thrones is Reigns Game of Thrones. So that's the mobile game. It's Reigns. I don't know. Have you ever played Reigns, Will?
I have not.
Okay. Reigns is actually pretty fun. It's a game where you swipe left or right based on what decision you want to do. So it's for mobile, Steam, and now it's on Nintendo Switch. It's obviously a Game of Thrones spin on the popular Reigns mobile games. So that's also one I will play at some point. I was gonna buy it and play it for this, but I have trouble spending money on mobile games in any capacity. So there was a couple other ones. There's another mobile game. I think it's called Game of Thrones Conquest. No interest in trying that. And then there was a strategy game, which I believe is also from Cyanide Studios, who did the Game of Thrones role playing game that reviewed really badly. So I didn't even think that was worth covering on here. Just leave it alone.
I'm actually surprised that a AAA developer hasn't made a game in the Game of Thrones, like an RPG.
Yeah, I mean,
in that universe.
Yeah, like I said, Telltale is probably the best example of that, and it's really a good fit, to be honest.
Oh yeah, it's just like you see that Kingdom Come Deliverance game, which is supposed to be a more realistic, like, high fantasy game, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised like a studio like that hasn't done a Game of Thrones or like a Skyrim. Like, is there even a Skyrim mod for Game of Thrones?
There is. Well, that's not done yet. They're working on it. Yeah, that's on my list actually. So yeah, I'll get into the mods because I have played a significant amount of some of these. The first and, in my opinion, best one, it's the one we have in the video that we have going in our chat on twitch.tv/thumbstickathletes, is Crusader Kings 2, A Game of Thrones. I've played a significant amount of this as both House Dane and House Manderley. It's really a perfect fit because Crusader Kings 2 does a great job with the political side of things, which I don't feel like a lot of other games do. And Game of Thrones is very, very political, at least in the beginning of it. It's a little less towards the end, but it's still there. Definitely a very political game. So there's that. There's also the armies thing too. That's in Crusader Kings 2 also, of course, but it really plays up the whole marriage and assassination and betrayal and all that fun stuff. That's huge in Game of Thrones. Is also huge in this game. So it really is a perfect fit for a Game of Thrones type game. I probably played, I don't know, it's not a lot in the grand scheme of things, but probably 30 or 40 hours of Crusader Kings 2, the Game of Thrones mod. It's fun stuff.
I remember back in the Crusader Kings era, Dan, when that was like the game that followed Guild Wars for a game that was talked about probably the most. that you would tried out that mod and had loved it.
Yep.
I do remember that. That was before I was even aware of what Game of Thrones really was.
Yeah. It's really really excellent. So, and that could be a way of learning. Crusader Kings also is having that knowledge of Game of Thrones you can put to good use in Crusader Kings too, because there's a steep learning curve. It took me like 20 hours to learn how to play it,
Yeah.
and still pretty much every time I play it I learn something new. So there's also that. So next on my list is a game called Mountain Blade Warband, which anyone who's listened to this podcast knows I've played a decent amount of. And the mod is called A Clash of Kings. So I also played a decent amount of this one. You create your own character in this one, which is kind of cool. And you play the war from the ground level. So Mountain Blade Warband is all about assembling your army of soldiers. So you go around to villages, you recruit, you have to do supplies and stuff. You do battles in this one. The battles are either first or third person. Very, very, very janky. If you've ever played Mountain Blade Warband, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's very janky, but it's also very, very fun. So you pick your character. You have all these abilities. They all seem to be important in various ways. And you level up, by winning battles and stuff like that. This one, too, you get to choose who you are allied with. So I know when I played mine, I allied with the North. I ended up because I was so successful in some of my battles, how do I do this without spoilers? The northern, I'll just say the Northern Lords rewarded my efforts with a few small holdfasts of my own that I could use to generate income and supplies and stuff. So that is also a very cool game. I held one of the enemy lords for quite a while, ransomed him off for a tidy profit. Quite fun. It's good stuff. Again, you have to get past the jank for that one too, though. But it's definitely worth a shot. And I think that game's pretty cheap right now. I'm really waiting for Mountain Blade 2 to come out.
So I was actually just gonna ask about what's the deal with that. I feel like it was supposed to be coming out soon for a while.
It's supposed to come out soon, for the past like 2 years, I think. Occasionally I'll see a gameplay video about it, and that's about it. But I look forward to the Game of Thrones mod for Mountain Blade Warband 2. So it's actually Mountain Blade Bannerlord, I think. Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord.
Bannerlord, yeah, that's right.
So next on the list is Civilization 5. It's called A Mod of Ice and Fire. This one took me a little bit to find. It seems like when I did a search in the Steam community or the Steam workshop, it took me a while to find the good ones. The Game of Thrones ones that popped up at the beginning were not very good, and I couldn't get it to work. So I did a search for this one and finally found it and followed a link from somewhere else. I played a little bit of this one today. It's Civ 5, like you know and love, but it's got the Game of Thrones skin on it. It's got the map of Westeros. You can play as a bunch of different factions. You can play as the Starks, Lannisters, Baratheons, etc., Tyrells, Martells, Greyjoys, any of those houses, or also Mance Rayder and the Wildlings of the North. And then it's got a few other cities in there as the city-states from Civ 5. So there's some relationships involved with that stuff. But basically, other than that, it's a Civ game. There's a few unique units and unique buildings for each of the large houses. But other than that, another thing too, when you make a new city, it names it after. So like, I played as the North, so I was Robb Stark, and my two cities were Castle Kerwin, and then Bear Island was my other city that I ended up making. I played that for maybe an hour and a half. But yeah, it's Civ outside of that, so that's also very cool.
Merging your two loves, Game of Thrones and Civ.
Yeah, Civ. I never looked to see if there's this one for Civ 6. I'm sure if there isn't, there will be at some point. So yeah, there's that one. Age of Empires 2 HD has one called War of the Five Kings.
Really?
Yep, I played a little of this one today. So it adds Westeros and the Seven Kingdoms as like a custom scenario.
Okay.
So it just thrusts you in, and everyone starts fighting all of a sudden. So I think it was hard for me because I haven't played Age of Empires 2 in quite a while. and I didn't know where my lands were, who my allies were. Like, I didn't know anything about it, and it just throws you in the game with all these places and all these soldiers, and just lets you figure it all out. And I haven't played it in forever. I didn't know what the buildings. I couldn't remember what the buildings looked like. I couldn't remember anything about it, so I was very confused. But it does seem like it's well done. I would just need to probably have played more Age of Empires 2 to be able to parse that one out at all. So there was that one. There's Medieval 2 Total War Kingdoms, and the mod is called Westeros Age of Petty Kings. So I didn't play this one. I do have this game on Steam, which I was surprised. And if I had known, I probably would have given it a shot. But again, these games have very steep learning curves. It takes place 1,000 years before the events of the show, but it's fully based on George R.R. Martin's lore. So, something happening in hockey that I'm not aware of.
Columbus is winning.
What?
Yeah, 4-3.
Oh my god! All my picks are doing terrible. So there's that. But anyway, that's why I didn't join the pool. I mean, it's just game one, but still, that's beside the point.
Yeah, no, we'll talk about it during our weeks. I'll try to keep it together until then, but
yeah. So that's pretty much it for Game of Thrones games and mods. There's not nearly as much out there. They are working on a Skyrim one. It looks really cool. But there's also, I guess they're in between versions. So they just went from the alpha version and they're headed into the beta version, so it's not available to play right now. There's a video that I watched for it. It looks really cool. I will definitely give that a shot when it eventually comes out, or at least try the beta. And then I'll report back on that when I finally get to it. I know Corey's not going to be happy about that because I'll probably play that before I play it all. But we shall see.
I actually had the hankering to play Skyrim, and I said, no, don't do it.
Yeah.
Play Enderall before.
Play Enderall first. That's right. So, that's it. Yeah. As I said, I tried to keep it as spoiler-free as possible for those that haven't seen the show. I know Will's eventually going to watch the show, right?
Yeah, I'm probably going to wait until it's almost done or done before I start, because
you could probably wait until it's almost done because it is like 70 hours of television.
Yeah. So it's just, as people know, like, I hate waiting for seasons to air and have to wait in between episodes. So yeah. I usually like to wait until shows are done. That might take years, but I'm very impatient. I'm a millennial. I want what I want now.
Yeah.
So
I'm the same way. And honestly, I at least initially thought I was the only one, but I was worried when Game of Thrones finished a year and a half ago. You worry about not living to see the end of it,
yeah,
despite being in good health. And I was reading a thread on Reddit, and a lot of other people had the same fear,
What if I die before?
People younger than me, like I could die in a car accident and not get to see the end of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
There's still time. I'm not gonna, I don't want to jinx it, but I think I'm probably in the clear at this point.
Yeah, I think you're good. I think you got it.
So,
do you think Game of Thrones is like the most popular show on TV?
I would think so.
That's what I would think too.
Yeah. At least as far as cultural impact. I mean, there may be some awful reality TV show that people watch secretly.
Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Yeah. But that doesn't really have much cultural impact,
I don't know. Those Jenners.
Well, yeah, I don't know. But people are afraid to say they like that stuff, so it's not like it's water cooler conversations at work the next day,
I fully admit I like Kendall Jenner.
I honestly I wouldn't have no idea what she looks like.
Yeah, she's the one that's not as popular.
Okay. I'm an old fart. I'm fully willing to admit that. I wouldn't. The only Kardashian I would know if I saw them is Kim Kardashian. Outside of that, I would have no idea looking at any of them if it was them.
What about Caitlyn?
No. Wait, Caitlyn Jenner?
Yeah.
That was formerly Bruce Jenner, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I still probably wouldn't know their face if I saw them.
I wouldn't know either, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Because I shun and loathe, like, most pop culture things.
Especially that whole thing.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's a bizarre family, like, fame.
Yeah, and I really despise reality TV for the most part.
It's horrible.
Ugh, God. That's what ruined the History Channel and the Discovery Channel and all that stuff that I used to love. Was ruined by reality TV.
Yeah, because everybody wants to have that hit show that everybody watches and everybody chases it.
Well, yeah, because I mean, this is a little off topic, but you film all these crappy reality TV shows, and you just hope something sticks. They don't cost a lot. Doesn't
Yeah,
cost
yeah.
as much as actually having a written, acted show. If it doesn't pan out, then you didn't risk much. But if it pans out, it's still, at least for a while, probably relatively cheap to make
Yeah,
as compared to traditional television. So, and
definitely.
it's all throwaway TV in my opinion. So,
Definitely.
yeah. Anyway, Will Nibblebits, what do you got for me?
I don't know what you have, so I will only throw these two out here for right now. But one is there is a Nintendo Direct. So I saw a rumor that it's tomorrow.
Yeah,
Is that
I've heard.
confirmed or is
I
it
have not
Friday?
seen it confirmed anywhere, but that doesn't mean it's not been confirmed.
I've seen the 11th and 12th.
Okay.
I've seen that online. So I don't really know. Nintendo usually announces their directs before, a couple days before, or 24 hours before. So I guess I really don't know when it's coming, but the rumor is that there's a direct coming. If I were to guess, Smash 3.0 will be announced, which means the release of Joker will be there. I would also guess maybe Persona 5, but after that, I don't really know what they've got up their sleeves. It's Reggie's last Nintendo Direct, so because I believe this is his last week at Nintendo.
Yeah, April 15th is his last day, I believe, and
I thought it was
then he
okay.
passes
Yeah,
off to Doug Bowser.
okay. So they're probably gonna get in another Direct. It's coming. We just don't know for sure what day it's
Right.
coming. So there's that, and also Dan, this is more to you. Have
Uh-huh.
you read Jason Schreier's articles about BioWare recently?
Not recently, no.
You should
Okay.
because
I,
they're
I
fascinating.
like his stuff. I just haven't had a chance to read it.
So from Kotaku, the only people I really like are Jason Schreier and Kirk Hamilton, Stephen
Yeah.
Totilo too.
Yeah.
Those are the only three people that I'll ever read anything about because Jason Schreier is kind of the scoop guy.
Yeah, he does really good investigative reporting,
He does. Oh,
and
by the
he
way, he confirmed the next Assassin's Creed
I saw that.
was going to be Vikings and Norse. So I'm pumped about that. But he put out an article, I think it was today or yesterday, about the past and present of Dragon Age 4.
Hmm.
And
Oh,
it's a
okay.
really good read because he talked about how BioWare's development has been so bad recently
Uh-huh.
that nobody can make decisions on what they want to do for any of the games. And like they have to crunch incredibly hard to get the game actually made once they decide on a direction, and it's within a very short time period. Like I guess Dragon Age 2 was made in 18 months, which
Really?
is crazy if that gives you any context to why Dragon Age 2 is the way that it was. Um, so yeah, with all of that, like they talked about how Dragon Age 4 was being developed, how they were actually it was on a smaller scale than Dragon Age Inquisition, but it was going to be way more choice heavy, and there'll be way more ways that your character can have an impact on the world, so on and so forth, yada yada yada. They had a clear vision for it and everything, and we're really excited. But EA actually nixed it because they wanted everybody to go work on Anthem to fix Anthem. So after that happened, the game got nixed. The money they spent on it got kind of thrown away, and now they're making a complete other game with live service being a keyword to it. So a lot of people are really worried about what that means, and no one's really sure. Because Casey Hudson actually put out a statement, who's back at BioWare, saying when he says live service, he wants the game to be played after the initial spurt of the main story. Not to worry that this is the most experienced team they've got developing on the game. But Jason Schreier also confirmed that a lot of the people who worked on the Dragon Age games have actually left BioWare. So no one really knows what to expect of Dragon Age. I guess it's a little ways off, even though they put out a teaser in the 2018 Game Awards.
Uh-huh.
Um, BioWare is in a very interesting spot.
Yeah.
I don't I don't know what to think of any of the stuff you read from BioWare
Yeah, I don't have
anymore.
much faith in them.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah, we've lost that.
Yeah. And the whole live service thing frustrates me.
Because that's
It
EA
it
pushing
doesn't
it.
yeah, it doesn't need to be in everything. You can make a good single player game like they've been doing for a while and not have to have that stuff. I mean Breath of the Wild is still one of Nintendo's top sellers, and the internet is littered with stuff that happens in that game.
Still.
I know not everyone can make a Breath of the Wild, like I get that, but that was a single player game. It came out and has remained, other than a couple DLC things, largely unchanged. Aside from maybe a patch or here and there, and then some DLC. Like, but it's still super popular. Over 2 years later?
Uh-huh. I just like you're right, and we still see things on the internet about it quite often.
Yeah.
I don't know what the disconnect is because it's not our BioWare's games not selling as well as say the sports games or the Battlefield games. Like, is that what the
They're
problem is?
not. They're definitely not. I mean, I think FIFA literally is holding EA together as a company. FIFA and like Madden, because they don't have to do a lot year to year. They release a FIFA, change a handful of things, keep it largely the same, and sell a ton of card packs and all that crap that they put in it nowadays, which I know some people love, but I have zero interest in that stuff.
So were all three original Mass Effect games EA, or was 2 and 3 EA and
I
one
believe the
wasn't?
first one was not EA. 2 was EA.
Okay. I just don't understand how those games were fine, and then now I don't know. Is it just the changing of the times, and EA wants to chase that much money all the time? Like, is it them? Is it BioWare? Like, I don't really know what the answer is to any
Yeah.
of this, and it's a little like I want to know the inner workings way more.
Yeah.
Just because like if this is fascinating to me, it's all interesting stuff. What's going on there? And they can't. I don't think they can take too many more hits.
Yeah. And I don't think like I feel like outside of a handful of games, the whole live service thing, it's not as easy of a cash cow as some games make it seem.
Yeah,
yeah. Because I think of a game like Destiny, they have to constantly come out with content, so they constantly have to have a huge team of people. And apparently crunch was a big thing with that, like literally all the time, because they have to be constantly coming out with new content all the time to keep their players interested in the game, because there's always another game that someone can move on to, no matter what kind of game you have.
Yeah, but how do I don't know, maybe Nintendo is just a better developer, like CD Projekt Red, maybe they're just better developers then, right? Like,
Yeah.
because how do they hold over the attention of everybody, but BioWare can't, and they're resorting to these live service games? Like,
Yeah, I don't know. Again, that's probably has something to do with EA and trying to make money, which is fine. But you're driving a story developer into the ground and doing so by making them come. I even liked Mass Effect 2 and 3 as multiplayer. Like, I thought that was fun.
yeah,
They were cool.
yeah, definitely.
Or was it just no? It was Mass Effect 3 and then Andromeda, not 2.
Yeah, 2 or 3 in Andromeda had the multiplayer.
Yeah, I don't even know that I ever played Andromedas, but I played a bunch of 3s, and it was quite good. It was very fun.
I'm pretty sure Eric bought Mass Effect 3, only played the multiplayer.
Yeah, I think
right?
You're right. I think you're right about that.
Yeah. You know what? Ubisoft with Assassin's Creed Odyssey is the best mold of games as service and single player epic game. You know what I mean? Because that game's story and depth to it is incredible, but they keep supporting it with DLCs, updates, like new content for free all the time, and they're doing amazing. So
Yeah.
I think Odyssey is kind of the example of single player game that can be game as service at the same time.
Yeah, and I talk about Crusader Kings 2 a lot, but they're every, I don't know, 8 months or so they come out with a new like content pack that adds to the game.
Yep.
It's a single player game. I think you could do some multiplayer, but it's got to be with someone you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like they just add new stuff every now and again. That game's been out for, I don't know, 6 years, 8 years. It's been out for a while, and every once in a while they just add something new to the game.
Yeah. I guess that might, I don't know, that must be how EA wants things done, and that's unfortunate for BioWare, because they don't get to do what they want to do or take the time that they want to take.
Yeah.
Because really, I mean, development for Mass Effect 2 being 18 months, that's insane. Could you imagine trying to make
Dragon
a
Age
game?
2, wasn't it?
Or what did I say?
Mass Effect.
Okay, Dragon Age 2. Like, could you imagine doing that?
No. And that was probably the least well received of the Dragon Age games too.
Yeah. Which ironically is the game they're most proud of, apparently.
Is it?
Yeah, because of what they were able to accomplish.
Oh, in the time frame.
And you know, Jason Schreier made a good point. Ubisoft makes their games like a factory, like just people churn it out, and they're usually really good. So maybe that's the way to do it with games that are to the scale now.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's an interesting topic and one that we probably won't have an answer to, like what's best for game development.
No,
but
and we won't know the inner workings until someone comes out with like a tell-all book.
Definitely. And I think Jason Schreier is the closest thing we've got to giving us a tell-all, because he did put out a book.
Yeah.
Called Blood, Sweat, and Pixels, I believe is what it was called.
Yep.
So
I've been interested in that. It's on my Amazon wish list. One of these days I'll pull the trigger. I should buy it because of how, into games we are, so.
I know you don't have much time to like listen to podcasts, but if you do listen to a gaming podcast, listen to Split Screen. It's usually pretty good.
I'm subscribed. I just haven't listened to it.
It's usually pretty good. It's Kirk, Kirk and Jason,
and then they have someone else from
Maddie, who actually don't ever read anything from, but she's good on the podcast. So
I've seen her a couple times on their video thing. Which I can't remember what it's called right now, but yeah, they have a video series that they do every now and again.
Yeah, they had the same conversation we kind of just had on their podcast, which made me interested. And then he put out that Dragon Age article, and I was like, man, Jason's been going after BioWare recently, getting all the scoops.
EA lording itself over BioWare.
Yeah, definitely.
I just think EA is not capable of coming out with anything good at this point. I'm worried about the Star Wars game that they're coming out with. I'm just worried about it,
Yeah, so that actually could lead into another nibble bit.
Okay.
Respawn put out their teaser for Jedi: The New Order.
Yeah.
I think it's called, which is their new game. We find out more this month, I believe.
Okay.
So check out that teaser. I guess it's an action adventure game. That's what it's been. It's genre that it's been classified as. So I expect kind of like an Uncharted gameplay style game, maybe.
Okay.
So which would be different from Respawn. That'll be pretty cool to see them try something else.
Yeah.
If we know anything, some of those studios that do those shooters come out with those like adventures or RPG games. They're really good. Just look at Horizon with Guerrilla.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, that's all I've got, Dan.
Okay. I got a couple things here. First is that Starlink Battle for Atlas halts production on further toys. So their Toys to Life experiment has seemingly failed. I think the game sold okay, and I think they're happy with sales figures. And honestly, I thought it was a pretty good game. Didn't need the toys. I think it's a fine game without the toys. So I'm hoping it continues into something. I love that it's Star Fox too. Don't know that I would have liked it as much if it had been another or just the standard characters,
Yeah.
Hang on a second. I've got to move my keyboard so I can set my laptop up so I can have the Predators game on while we're recording.
Yeah, I'm actually just getting ready to get that stream going. Or maybe I should see the end of the Pittsburgh game.
Is that's still tied, right?
I believe so. Maybe I'll have both.
So that's the first nibble bit. The second is that I don't know if you heard about Nintendo Labo VR.
I did hear about that.
It's coming out. I think it's coming out. Is it tomorrow or then Friday maybe? But the VR portion is going to work with Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey. Apparently, you can play full Breath of the Wild on the Nintendo Labo VR and parts of Super Mario Odyssey.
Really?
So that's pretty cool. I think we may be getting that for our son for his birthday. So I will undoubtedly be trying Breath of the Wild in VR. So super cool.
That's pretty cool, honestly.
Yep. And then my last nibble bit, an anonymous millionaire wants to rent a real life island and have a real life battle royale on it. Not with actual guns and weapons. He apparently wants to use airsoft guns with special hit detection armor suits. And apparently he wants to have it be like a weekend excursion with events throughout the entire weekend. Everyone can come to the island, camp there, have their battle royales, have food and beverage provided. So that sounds like a pretty awesome time, to be honest with you.
This is genius, honestly. I think this is a great idea.
It really is genius. And, if they have like signups for it, I would definitely, throw my hat in the ring. I think that would be a blast.
Although, this could go horribly wrong if a psychopath goes there.
Yeah, definitely. I wonder. Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna pick their contestants, but
at their island.
Yeah.
I read that and I was like, that's a brilliant idea. He would make so much money doing that.
It could also be to lure people there and have the most dangerous game. Have him hunt people or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You're right. It could go horribly wrong.
Could go horribly wrong in the ways he's just luring people there or an attack of some sort. But yeah. But the actual the idea of being executed perfectly, I think it's a genius idea.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's my last little bit. How's your week, Will?
Good. Where do I want to start? I guess I'll start with my purchases. I'm kind of excited to talk about that. About a week ago, Dan, I kind of told you I needed a desk, so I ordered the one you told me to get, and I have it set up right now, and it is awesome.
Yeah, it's nice having a nice big desk with space for your stuff.
Definitely, especially because I'm looking into upgrading my PC here pretty soon, so I kind of have been able to map out how everything will go on here. It's really nice. I'm really, really loving it. Super easy to put together too.
Yeah.
Me and Mom sat down and did it in 10 minutes.
Nice. Good.
So, but that's not all. I was laying in bed one night, made some good money at work through tips. So I was like, it's on Amazon. What pops up is those TCL 4K TVs.
Yes.
65 inches for $500. But also, they let you do payment plans.
Oh, do they really on that?
For this one, they did. I checked the other sizes, they didn't. So I got the 65-inch TV, 4K, for $500 with $415 payments or whatever to include the tax. So I've got my 4K TV sitting in here. It's way too big, but I love it.
Sure, that's awesome.
I was like, 65 inches. It's not much bigger than what I got now, but no, I have it in here, and it's insane how much bigger it is.
That's bigger than the TV in my living room. Ours is only 48, I think. And it's not 4K either. So.
Well, I wasn't here today when it came. Mom was, and she's like, "Are you kidding me?"
Nice.
Then Dad saw it. He's like, "Why?" So
yeah, that's bigger than the TV in their living room too, and that's a small room. That used to be my bedroom.
Yeah. Honestly, Dan, it's more than half of the back wall.
Yeah, I could see that
right here. So I don't have a basically why I got it is media is moving in the way of 4K.
Yeah.
And the TV I had last was Corey. That's disgusting. It was cheap, so I did it.
Yeah, that's a great deal.
I can pay $100 a month for 5 months. That's super easy. Yeah. I never really let myself fall below a certain number in my bank account anyway.
Not just that, but you don't have to pay any interest on it. It's just you just pay for the TV split up over 5 months.
Yeah, I told Mom and Dad I wouldn't have done it if that was the case where I had to pay it all up front. But because they did the plan, I was like, yeah, I'll do it. But yeah, because of media moving in the way of 4K, I kind of wanted to future-proof a little bit with that. I was originally going to get a 4K small TV for my computer that I'm going to be upgrading to. Uh-huh. Decided against that for a couple of reasons. I forgot the reasons. Johnny explained to me why he didn't think that would be something that I should do. And it made sense. I'd rather just get 2 monitors. Yeah. So that's kind of the way that I'm going to go with it.
Sure.
But I'm kind of looking into getting a PS4 Pro because I can trade in a bunch of stuff right now. Like I have Rock Band 4 and all the instruments. I saw Amazon was gonna give me like 70 for it. So like that, and then like my PlayStation 3 that I've got, like I could get like 50 for it. So I could have like a third of the payment kind of, or a fourth of the PlayStation paid off.
Uh-huh.
So if I just save for a couple paychecks, because I'm also trying to save for a computer, like it won't really even be any hit into
Right.
my account, my savings for my computer. So really, like I think I'm gonna do that in a couple weeks because I never really played God of War. I never played Horizon all the way through. I want to play Days Gone. I want to play some other games on it too that are exclusives. Detroit 2 or Become Human is another one. So I think in a couple weeks I might pull the trigger on that,
Okay.
um, and then continue saving for my computer, which really I'm kind of close to being able to get all the pieces that I want anyway, besides the monitors. So
Uh-huh.
I'm doing good with the things that I want to buy. Um, I'm having a hankering, by the way, to do an Assassin's Creed playthrough.
Oh, nice.
Really big hank.
Starting at the beginning.
Yeah, I really like all of the games, but the first one are pretty much remastered or playable on the newest console. So like I'm kind of tempted to go back and because I've never played 3, Unity, or Rogue,
Uh-huh.
and they're all on the new consoles.
Did you play the first Assassin's Creed?
I did. I played 1 in Assassin's Creed, 2 Brotherhood, and most of Revelation. So I played all of those, but it's been so long, and I'm like, maybe I will go back. And I was watching a lot of videos on it, so I kind of want to do that, but I also at the same time want to do that Pokemon playthrough. So I'm kind of like torn by what I want to do.
Yeah.
Um, but other than that, I think that pretty much encapsulates my week. I'm on break next week, so that's gonna be nice. I don't have to worry about school.
Nice.
Um, Again, I'm sick, so if I sniffle, I'm sorry. I'm trying not to.
Yeah, it happens.
Um, Playoff hockey started today.
Oh yeah.
Preds play right now, right?
Yep, they're playing right now.
Playing right now. Columbus beat Tampa Bay in the first
Shockingly.
game. Surprisingly, draft lottery
Yeah.
happened.
Won by New Jersey.
Let me tell you, I think the Devils have Edmonton Oilers like luck in the lottery.
Sure.
They've won twice in the last like 3 years.
Oh really? Oh, cause did they win the year they got Hishire?
Yeah, they got Nico Hischier that year, and then they're gonna get Jack Hughes or Kakko or whoever they want.
Right.
Also, I'm really excited for Rangers fans getting that second pick. I was really happy to see that.
Yeah,
So,
Corey had said that the Rangers have never picked in the top 3 ever.
which blew my mind
Blew my mind too.
for how much like they've been mediocre over the years. Like
Yeah.
to not stumble into a top pick.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then
Very
then
surprising.
you get a team like Edmonton who has
Taylor Hall's
picked in the
tweet
top
was-
5 or in the top 4 or 5 times. 3 times in a row won the draft lottery.
They were the first team I checked to see where they were picking. Once I got out of work and saw the lottery had happened, I was like, "Where's Edmonton picking?"
Wasn't it like 5th?
I want to say it was like 8th.
Oh, really?
It was later than I expected.
Huh. Oh, good.
Yeah. I know Colorado's 4. I'm sure people are like teams that actually needed the first round, the high picks are kind of mad that Jersey, Rangers, Chicago,
Yeah.
Colorado got the first 4.
Yeah.
Because 2 of those teams were not that bad, and then Devils were kind of bad, but whatever. And then the Avs are pretty good. They're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So
Well, they got the Senators.
yeah.
So the Senators don't get that pick.
No, all of their first picks are late because all playoff teams did it. So, but I think that's it for the things I wanted to talk about. Played a lot of games, which we'll talk about. So,
Nice. Okay. I've only got a couple quick things to talk about.
yeah.
Beerless says I got the horses in the back. I don't know what that means. What?
I feel like I know that reference.
Yeah, I missed. I let us know what the reference is because I'm drawing a blank here, but that could be because my brain is mush right now. So the only thing I have to talk about really is so we went outside on Sunday because it's finally nice here. I did some cleaning up in the yard. My kids all played outside. so we came inside, and my wife was changing one of my twins' diapers, and he had a tick on him that had bitten him like up on his diaper line. So I had to do a tick removal the other day on Sunday. So that was fun. Luckily, we don't go outside that much, so we know it had only been there for a couple hours tops, so he wasn't in danger of getting any diseases or anything. But still, I don't think there's a more worthless or disgusting bug than a tick. They're just, they just are there to suck on your blood and pass around diseases. Like,
yeah, give you Lyme. That's all they're really doing to you.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get some spray and spray up the yard and hopefully we don't have any more ticks. But we didn't have a super cold winter, other than like a week of it being bitterly cold. So it didn't kill them as much as usual. So
yeah,
but that's why we don't like going outside very much.
Honestly, I didn't even know I knew we had ticks up in this area.
Yeah,
but I didn't really realize how easy it is you can get bit by a tick.
Yeah, it's very common around here.
It makes me self-conscious, honestly.
Yeah, and after I removed his, like, I we checked everybody. Everybody got checked, up and down for ticks, but I kept feeling like they were crawling on me.
Yeah.
Like,
yep.
God. Gross.
Give you the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah. But anyway, that was my excitement for the weekend. I don't think I have anything else to report. No, I don't. So let's get into what we played. Will, I know you want to talk some Mass Effect.
Real quick, I want to say I beat Assassin's Creed Origins.
Hey.
Well done. Thank you.
Real quick before I don't mean to interrupt you. The Assassin's Creed Origins is on Humble Monthly right now. It's the early unlock, so you can pay $12, get Assassin's Creed Orange. Or I keep saying oranges as a joke, but I actually say it now. But it's Assassin's Creed Origins you can get for $12. So if you're interested in having it on a PC, yes, that's the way to go.
Yep. I think me and you are both going to subscribe for this month for it.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting it. And then you get once the month is over, the first Friday of the new month, you get the rest of your games that you get unlocked. So. There are usually a couple good indie games. There might be other Ubisoft games in there. It's hard to tell, but then there's also some new games.
Islanders just pulled ahead, dude.
Oh, did they really?
They did.
Not good for my hockey picks so far.
Nope, been wrong on every game so far. But Assassin's Creed Origins, I gotta say, that game's incredible.
Uh-huh.
Bayek is one of the best assassins. It's weird to say because I said this about Cassandra too, being one of the best assassins, but Bayek is definitely up there, and he's also, a lot of the Assassin's Creed fans agree too, that he is one of the best characters. He's the most relatable character-wise too, which is really, really fun. Not to mention Egypt is awesome. Like, really, it was an amazing game. The reason why I rushed through it a little bit faster is I kind of want to replay it again a little bit later. What happened?
Brian Boyle just killed somebody.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
I'm gonna put that game on in a minute, actually, but I'm gonna play it again on PC when I get my set up all. Beardless says that Bayek is his favorite as well.
Okay, cool.
That's more confirmation. He's a lot of people still say Ezio's the best assassin, but Bayek's usually number 2.
Okay.
For what it's worth.
Cool.
Yeah, so I'm gonna play it again on PC when I have my suite set up and I can play it in all its beautiful glory. So that's what I'm looking forward to. So I beat that, but I want to talk about Mass Effect.
Yeah.
So I've put about 8 hours into Mass Effect Andromeda, and I'm not very far. For reference, for people who have played it, I just got Jaw as a squad mate. I don't think this game was as bad as everybody made it out to be, at all.
No.
I don't think it's a great Mass Effect game, but I think it's a good sci-fi game.
Okay.
That's kind of where I put it, because the Mass Effect 2 and 3, I honestly think Andromeda might be better than the first Mass Effect 2, just because it's newer.
Yeah.
The game plays better than...
yeah.
Yeah, and that's only because 2007 is when the first one came out. 6.
Oh, I don't know. I'll look it up.
Yeah,
There's this thing called the internet.
the interwebs to check that.
Google.
So obviously, like the systems, the gameplay, all of that's going to be way better, and that like those quality of life stuff really helps out.
November 20th, 2007.
Fearless says he's genuinely surprised that he found 4 people who liked Mass Effect Andromeda. Again, like I said, I don't think it's a great Mass Effect game, but I think it's a fine science fiction game, and that's kind of how I'm playing it as. My first impression was I was a little cold on it to start, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I don't really know why. I think it's because I expected you're going to another galaxy. I expected it to be just so radically different.
Uh-huh.
And it kind of wasn't, in my opinion. Like, it looked a little bit like, oh, here's a sand planet. Here's this one planet with lightning going on. And there were some cool things that were from, like, oh, that's not recognizable. Like the floating mountains on Habitat 7.
Yeah.
And the electrical storms. Like, yeah, that's stuff, like, we don't normally see. But then I thought about it. It's kind of hard when your mind can't comprehend what's in Andromeda to make a game in Andromeda. Because, like, really, we have no clue what we can make that's zany.
Yeah, yeah. It's a hard thing to do, definitely.
Yeah, it's a hard mindset to get in to make something like that. So once I got past that, I started to really like the game. I really liked being able... Yeah, Corey's first reaction as well was that it wasn't as different as you thought it would be. But like once I got past that and you started getting all the squad mates and you started to talk to them on your ship, I'm like, I really like this game. Then when you do some stuff on EOS and like try to... Like my impression is that there's going to be a lot of fetch quests and busy work on this game too.
Yeah, there is a lot of busy work.
Okay, so there's a lot of that, and I kind of figured that by being Pathfinder, you're just kind of doing a bunch of busy work to keep everything going.
Yeah.
But it seems like there's a lot of really cool things to do. There's a lot of like making the planets viable to live on, which is a thing you can do. Rebuilding the Nexus too, completing that is like another thing you can do as well. All of that, like the more people that you or the more that you're able to help the Nexus, the more that you can like get bonuses to different things to the Pathfinder. So like there's a lot of really cool RPG elements in this game as well, and like I think that's like it's very fun to play. I think the combat in the game is really solid as well. I've also played it since it's probably been patched too, so I don't really know how it was at launch, but like I think the game's really good. I will say my favorite squad mates so far have been Drac and Vetra.
Yeah.
I think they're both awesome.
Yeah.
PB is all right. I don't hate PB at all. She's kind of whiny a little bit so far. I'm interested to see how she kind of comes along. And then like Cora and Liam are kind of the boring human characters.
Yeah.
I will say it is kind of it's always the case. The only human character that I ever found interesting was Miranda.
Yeah, yeah.
But the problem is Cora follows Miranda with being the super talented biotic.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, well, okay, we've seen
this already, yeah.
Yeah. So that kind of takes a little bit away from Cora. Hello, Poncho72. But so, Dan, what did you and Corey both beat Mass Effect Andromeda?
I know I beat it. I don't know if Corey beat it. And for me, I went into the game. I tried to go into the game with as clear of a mind as I could, because I knew if I went into it expecting Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 that it would ruin the experience for me. Yeah. And even going in with my mind set that way, like I still tried to at the beginning expected it too much to be like Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
The stakes, especially towards the end of the Mass Effect trilogy. So Corey says yes, he beat it. But after I played it for a little while and, like you said, appreciated some of the systems and the gameplay things about it, I started to like it for its own thing. It's you're never gonna go back to the Mass Effect original trilogy. This is its own thing now. Like, this is Mass Effect now, so it was fine.
Beer, this makes actually a good point, and I kind of, now that he brings it up, I see that parallel. That Mass Effect Andromeda's main plot, it was just kind of Dragon Age Inquisition in space.
Yeah, it was very similar, absolutely.
Yeah. Like I remember I haven't played a lot of Inquisition, but I did the Hinterlands, and there was a lot of like tasks and fetch quests and busy work to do.
Yeah.
Seems like Andromeda has a lot of that.
Yeah.
But again, like I think the game is fine so far. I'm having fun. The cat I think are kind of an interesting enemy as of right now. The Remnant remind me a lot of the Protheans without being organic,
Uh-huh.
but but like playing this game kind of sparked my interest. I've been watching like Mass Effect lore videos, and they score.
Yeah.
Nice. Who was it?
Yossi.
Nice. So up one zip.
Yep.
Perfect. I've been watching the lore videos, and I've actually been super interested. And I actually had forgot a lot of the stuff about Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. Like, I forgot you fought a Reaper in Mass Effect 3 and killed it.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about that. I was
Yeah.
like, holy crap, that's so cool. Um, I was just, like, watching videos about the Turian race, the Drell race, the Asari race, and, like, a lot of it was really interesting. I'm actually going to go back and play through the original trilogy maybe over the summer because I was like, man, I forgot a lot about what had happened.
But yeah, there's a lot of good stuff there, and those games hold up really well even now. Even the first one, like I know gameplay, there's some parts
It's
of it that don't hold up. Like the Mako stuff doesn't hold up very, and it was bad when it first came out, but
yeah.
it holds up even less well now. But yeah, there's a lot of really good stuff in that game, and it's kind of sad that we'll never really return to that sort of thing, you know?
Yeah, well, like how cool was the Geth?
Yeah, I know.
Like, and then when you meet Legion and stuff like that, like
Yeah,
that's
you kind of get a little sympathy for the Geth.
yeah. Honestly, I think Geth are the most misunderstood race in the entire galaxy because what I didn't know was the Geth that you fight are the called heretics. They're the
Yeah,
ones that got tempted by the Reapers
yeah,
to for power. So like they're attacking, but 95% of the Geth are actually friendly and
yeah.
peaceful.
They just want to be left alone.
They want to be left alone. They want to learn. That's all they want to do.
Yeah,
It's like you meet Legion, and like he's completely different from that, and like made me just like, man. Then it kind of bummed me out that the Quarians, Geth, Drell, and Hanar aren't even in Andromeda. I was
yeah.
like, man, I was kind of bummed to see that. The
Yeah,
last
well,
thing I,
they were supposed to be there. Wasn't that a canned DLC?
yep.
Okay, so
So what? Yep.
ah,
That
God, that's frustrating.
there's actually a book about it, but they canned the DLC for it.
Okay,
You were supposed to get all I think four of those races to like were coming.
well, at least I guess canon wise, at least they've made it.
Yeah, to the Andromeda.
Yeah,
Quick question.
yeah.
The thing that I might be most fascinated on are the Turian, Asari, and Solarian arcs. Is there stuff with that gets done? Like,
Uh,
because like I
excuse
noticed
me.
that they're not there, and like they keep saying, don't know where they are. What's going on? Find out information. Do you actually like do anything
I
with it, or is it just?
honestly don't remember. I think they get there, but it's been a couple years now since I've played it. I don't recall.
I figured they would do something with it, but I was just curious what the deal is with that.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, I'm really liking it so far. I intend. Yep, Beerless says yeah. Okay, so there is more with that. I'm kind of glad to see that.
Uh huh.
Um, I am pretty excited to keep playing it. After we finish recording, I'm actually gonna sit down and probably play quite a bit. I'm liking Andromeda. I wish I played it when it came out.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Anything else,
um,
Will?
no, that's about it.
Okay. So yeah, last night, as I said in the main segment, last night my wife was in Philadelphia to see a Justin Timberlake concert with one of her friends. I had planned on playing the Game of Thrones, a role playing game, but I ended up just playing Sekiro until I couldn't stay awake any longer. Uh, so I played. I guess it was. I finally got the kids to bed at like 8:45, and I played that until I couldn't stay awake. Sitting on the couch was probably like 12:45. So is that like 4 or 5 hours that I played? I can't do the math right now because my brain is mush. But yeah, I made some progress. I beat some bosses that I've been stuck on for a little while. In that game, a lot of times what you just have to do is you just have to keep hammering it away at a boss and not be afraid. You know, if you have to die, you have to die. One of the strategies I like to do is I like to make sure I have no money and no built up experience before I go in to fight either a boss or a mid boss. because that way there's not much
You can
lost
take
when
from
you die.
you, yeah.
Um, if I lose 100 experience over the course of a bunch of deaths, if I lose 100 whatever the money's called over the course of a bunch of deaths of the boss, it's not a big deal. So I always, after I'm done exploring or whatever, I either buy the coin purses or whatever, or I'll grind until I get to something I need to buy. So I'll grind and I'll finish my skill point so I could get a complete skill point so I don't need to lose experience. And then I just whack away at a boss. So last night I beat the Guardian Ape boss, which I thought was a mid boss, but ended up being a full boss. So I got the attack power boost after that, which was nice. And I beat what was the other? Rin of the Water mid boss. So I was actually talking to Corey a little bit about Sekiro. Was it today in our chat? He's building up strength to tango with Genichiro.
Did you read his most recent message about it?
No, I don't think so.
Here, I'll read it to you real quick.
Is he playing now?
He was playing earlier, right when we were started. He said, Genichiro, maybe the end of his time with the game.
Oh,
he doesn't
really?
care enough to spend more than 30 minutes or so trying. And I've seen people take 2, 3, 4 hours trying to beat him.
It took me a long time to beat him. And I told Corey, I played him so much it got to the point where in his first 2 phases he would not hit me. I had his moves memorized so well that he wouldn't hit me. It wasn't until the 3rd phase that he would kick my butt and I would crumble. Finally, I did end up beating him, but it took a long time. So, but I get it. Like, it's one of those get good or uninstall games.
I want to go back to it, but with everybody saying they're done, like quit playing it at various bosses, I'm like, oh man.
No, I'm not going to quit playing. And Corey, I don't know if you know this, but there is a cheese method to be able to beat Genichiro. I'm not above cheesing if I need to. However, whatever gets the job done,
I think it's fine. If it's in the game like that, I think might as well use it.
Absolutely. That's my feeling too.
I know you're not getting the necessary skill to get good, but
get good.
It's in there, so use it.
Yep, definitely. So there's that. I beat Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Thank you. I still have a couple DLC maps I have to do, but I did beat the main game, so I've been back to New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe. I'm almost done with that on the Switch, and then I'm not sure what I'm going to play on the Switch because I'll be mostly caught up with my Switch games. That's when I might start Child of Light. Or I might buy something new. I haven't decided yet.
What a game Child of Light is.
Yeah, well, I want to revisit that. It's been so long since I've played it.
I've had the hankering too.
Yeah. And, it's on the Switch, so I can play
Might as well,
Yep. Okay, so that's all I've got. Let's get into feedback.
So, Dan, while you're looking that up, Pittsburgh tied it.
Oh, goodness. If I can get some of these right, that would be great.
Yeah, I agree. I would like to be right on all of them, but that never happens.
Okay. Looks like we only got feedback from Idaho Jake, who says, "Hey guys, I bought Borderlands Game of the Year Edition, and it's not that bad, so my plan is to play through it, Borderlands 2, then a pre-sequel, straight to Borderlands 2, or Borderlands 3, but Rage 2 is coming, so it might not happen. Play through Borderlands 2, then pre-sequel, but Rage 2 is coming out, so that might not happen. Well, that's it for me. Have a great night." I actually very briefly played the Borderlands Game of the Year Edition. Luckily, it was a free upgrade if you own Borderlands on PC. And I actually considered seeing who wanted to maybe do a playthrough.
I'm actually interested.
Because I think Corey has it on Steam.
I would 100% be interested in playing.
Okay.
Fearless has been playing far too much Borderlands.
It's so good. Like as soon as I started playing again, I'm like, yeah, this is good stuff right here. What are we doing? Anyway. Yeah, no, it's good stuff. I mean, two was my favorite, but I played through two a lot. One is probably the one I played the least of,
Yeah.
so that's the one I would like to play. Oh, I didn't play that much pre-sequel either. I think I played through that once, and that was it. But Borderlands, I think I mostly played on Xbox too. I don't know if I played through it on PC before I switched over to not being able to play PC or shooters on with a controller. So
Yeah, Dan, when you want to start that, let me know. I will
I
be
will.
100% interested in playing.
Yeah, maybe it's something we'll stream too. I know we always say that, but it's hard now with the hockey playoffs starting. Because
Yeah, it's
literally,
gonna.
like, I'm gonna have a hockey game on all the time now. So
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. So it might have to wait, but
we'll see.
we might not be getting Borderlands 3 right at launch anyway.
If it's not gonna be on Steam, I won't be getting it right away. No question. So Jake will be our game challenge, our game giveaway winner. That's what I was going for.
Congrats, Jake.
So
Ugh.
I would say let's wait till in between periods, but I won't do that.
Random number generator. Ugh.
Because there's a
God,
minute plus.
we can wait if you want.
No, I don't. I don't want. I don't want dead air. Not that we would sit here in silence, but
That's true. Wow, we might.
we might. Just a minute of silence. So I sent Tate all of his games, and I sent Tito the game he won from last week. So Jake, I think he sent me what he wants, and then Tito, I owe a game from a few weeks ago, so I will email those out. I actually got caught up kinda this past week, so all right. So Jake, game number 1.
Real quick, Dan, did you
Yeah.
see the pictures of the black hole?
I did.
What'd you think?
I mean, I needed to have explained what I'm looking at.
I
It's out
yeah,
there.
I kind of.
It's out there. I haven't had time to. I just looked at the pictures.
It looks like a planet.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know. I was interested because I was fascinated last night when I saw that got announced that
Yeah.
we'd be seeing it today.
And then Corey sent an obscene message.
He did. That's the best way to wake up.
Something involving his butt. Put it that way.
Game number 1 is 15.
15. 15 is Men of War Assault Squad Game of the Year, which I don't know. I might have had to send him that one. Nope. Okay, continue.
120.
120 is Symphony.
72.
72 is Secret Order 2 Masked Intent.
42.
Whoops, hold on. 72. 22 is Neighbors from Hell compilation.
Dang. 129.
129. Joe Danger 2 the movie, which I'm not sure we have anymore.
Yeah, I don't think we do
I feel
either.
like we sent that one out, but we'll leave it for now. If worse comes to worse, we'll re-roll for that one.
Yeah.
So, Jake, your choices are, at least as of right now, Men of War, Assault Squad, Game of the Year, Symphony. 72 is Secret Order 2 Masked Intent, Neighbors from Hell compilation, and Joe Danger 2 the movie. So let us know what you want. We will send it to you. I also, like I said, I owe you a game from a few weeks ago that I'll send you a list for. I'll probably email those out tomorrow. Then again, I say that and I don't end up doing it, but I have been getting caught up on that stuff. So Beardless says it's the event horizon, so that's the part of the black hole where nothing can escape. Once it crosses the event horizon, it can't leave.
So that's what that means.
Yeah. So
I've been wondering.
Even light, like once it passes the event horizon, can't escape. It gets just sucked into the hole.
Space is so cool.
It is very cool.
And this is the one at the center of the Milky Way, yeah?
No, it's at a galaxy some 100 million light years away or something. Not ours.
Another galaxy, huh?
Yeah. What was it called? It had a name. I was like, I wonder if that's from something I know. We should
Andromeda.
look it up real quick.
Because there's a theory that there's black holes in the center of all the galaxies, right?
Yeah, I think they're thinking now that there is, at least as the ones we can see, including our own. Black hole picture.
This stuff is all mind blowing to me.
Center of a galaxy M87, but it had Messier 87. I wonder if it was Mark Messier is what I wondered.
We don't need to feed his ego by naming a galaxy after him, do we?
It's the massive galaxy called Messier 87 or M87 is near the Virgo galaxy cluster 55 million light years from Earth. 55 million light years from Earth.
Yeah, somebody broke down that the light that we're seeing is so old that, and then named a bunch of stuff that, like, had gone on that long ago or something like that. I don't know. I forgot how it worded it.
If it's 55 million light years away, that's when the dinosaurs were around.
Yeah, that. So it's not even what it looks like right now.
No, it could be gone. I don't know.
Yeah, we have no idea, which is mind blowing to me.
Well, the sun that you see is the sun from 7 minutes in the past. That's how long it takes.
That's incredible to me.
Or that's where the sun was 7 minutes ago. I think it's 7 minutes if I remember correctly.
That's just so incredible to me to think about. Like, we need to have a huge breakthrough in space travel.
Yeah, there's some interesting theories out there on things they can do. It's so hard. There's a Childhood's End by Arthur C. Clarke had an interesting part where one of the guys snuck on a spaceship, and he pretty much knew it was a one-way trip. As soon as he came back, everyone he knew was gonna be dead or gone.
Yeah,
just because it takes so long. I think it was 40 light years away that they were going. So
yeah, to and from.
Yeah, it's a one-way trip.
That's correct.
That, by the way, has a very depressing ending. I won't get into it, but if you ever get the chance to read it, don't.
How far is it to Mars? Do we know?
I don't know the exact number. How long would it take to fly there?
Yeah,
it depends. Depends on where in orbit the Earth is compared to there. I think the shortest is like 6 weeks.
Oh wow, okay.
But it's up to a couple years, like a year and a half, if we're not
far away,
close.
Okay.
And that's we had talked about this before, but a part of the challenge of going to Mars is when the orbits aren't close to each other. You know, you're talking about a long time in space travel. So because if you go there and have a stay, like by the time you're ready to go back, the Earth is either like it's moving further away, so it's that much further to go to try to get caught up.
Yeah.
Because of the orbits and stuff.
So you got to plan it effectively.
Yeah, you have to plan it very effectively, and that's why in a lot of cases they think a trip to Mars would be a one-way trip.
I feel like we should land on the moon again just to inspire people.
They wanted to do that. It's the money though, like it's what it boils down to.
I guess the plan is they want to land by the moon by 2020 something, and then by Mars by 2030. But a lot of people said that wasn't going to happen. So
yeah, I don't see it happening. As optimistic as I am for space things, I just don't think it's going to happen.
If I was president, I'd funnel so much money into space.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of the technological advances that we've gotten from around now are from people who were inspired by the moon landing, you know?
Yeah. Well, exactly. And that's why I think there needs to be like a re-inspiring of the nation.
Yeah, to go into tech and engineering and
have people be like,
science.
I want to be I want to learn more about this, because I feel like it just isn't as prevalent as it used to be.
Yeah.
People just want to get face tattoos and become rappers.
YouTube stars.
Yeah. Nobody wants to become a scientist and like explore the galaxy.
Yeah. Or they want to be an Instagram influencer.
Yeah, like that's where our youth's at,
Oh God,
which is so sad.
very sad.
All right, that's all I had to add about space.
Yeah, that's enough off topic, but that's interesting. Okay. Next week, I don't know what we're gonna do. We'll have an episode for you. It'll be Wednesday again, our new recording time. Beardless says, "Don't worry, Elon will pull a Tesla to the. We'll put a Tesla on the moon, and they'll be ready to get our space travel sorted."
Is he our best hope?
Well, I know Amazon has some space stuff that they're doing too with Blue Origin.
Of course they are. Amazon could do anything.
Amazon's gonna paint a giant Amazon logo on the moon for us to see.
They're gonna remove that American flag and put the Amazon logo.
But yeah, I mean, it seems Beardless is like, no. Yeah, no, it seems like private stuff is what's gonna take us back into space, probably before publicly funded.
Yeah,
venture.
NASA.
But who knows?
Yeah, anything could happen. There
Yep.
could be a breakthrough. People could get money. I don't know. Could happen.
He says private companies are not our best hope. I hope you're right. I hope the funding goes where it needs to go. It's like I said, we we got to stop our children from wanting to be Instagram influencers. Get them
Yeah.
into science and technology, robotics.
Yeah. I just feel like we'd be further along in 2019 than we are.
No, we're going backwards.
Face tattoos.
Face tattoos. Yep. So yeah, that'll do it for episode 403 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. I'm your host, Dan.
I'm Will.
Thanks for listening, and get out of my basement.